territory. Comes back Laidlaw to Hogg, just tries to clear his lines, takes it long and deep. So another of these heavy men. This is Vunga Lila, 106 kgs of fullback. Beatty underneath it. Laidlaw. Ball bounces everywhere. Oh, well done, Russell. Russell steps through a body or two. Plays it off the ground, taken though by Takulua. A Northland player, two Northland halfbacks.
Advantage over.
And they're trying to get the ball here, the Scots, but the Tongans get it to ground. Takulua. Takulua hits up Mafu. Mafu stays beyond a couple of tacklers. Got some space here. Lilo. Lilo head down. Tonga producing lots of possession here. This is Latu. Takulua has 3, 4, 5 big men. Hits the fullback. Offside. And enough danger in what Tonga do to make Scotland worry.
Russell under a lot of pressure here, but good footwork to get out. Good step here. And he tries to offload for the second attempt, which just goes to a Tongan defender, unfortunately. But that's what Scotland play. It's the right decision, just bad execution. And then when Tonga get through the phases, Stuart Hogg got penalised for not rolling away. That's the game plan. That has been what Scotland have done, I think, very well in the first two games. Both playing out of defence. We saw from the line out there, they ran it in the 22 to get their exit strategy in the central position. But then they also played the offloading game, which has been good. But you always know with offload it can go 50-50 at times.
And that all contributed to Tonga getting the ball, came left field. A couple of big men smashing up, and that means that Tosita of Northland has a chance to just get the Tongas onto the scoreboard. And what you need in a game like this is just to get the scoreboard ticking over. But both teams playing similar rugby. It's a very, it's not a dry pitch, very hard pitch. I think we're in for a feast. It looks, doesn't it, Andy, as if they've got carte blanche, the Scots, to attack from their own 22, just to run if they want it. This is a kick of about, well, just outside the 22, so on the angle. Natural position for the right-footed kicker. And Latiuma Kasita gets the first point of the game as Tonga go into the lead here at Rugby Park in Kilmarnock. They lead 3-0.
Quite clinical play there by Tonga. First time in the 22 they get a chance to take the 3 points. Scotland got in the Tonga 22 but weren't able to through the line out. So good start by Tonga. They've looked quite impressive. And there's a few fans in the stadium here in Kilmarnock. They'll have enjoyed the start to this game.
I was just thinking, Scotland tried a couple of tricks at line-out time, didn't they? Rather than just standard line-outs. They tried a couple of things, didn't quite come off. Mafu, no one was quite sure why his time at Warriors was so short. Laidlaw has Harley with him to cross, head down, steamrollers up the pitch. Laidlaw has Cowan comes infield, underneath the height of the Tongan tacklers. Laidlaw looks left to Johnny Greig, pile of bodies. Tongan arms and feet everywhere. Beatty skips inside 1 or 2. Laidlaw, Russell in behind to Visser. Richie Greig. And it's going to be a penalty. It'll be called back. I think that no matter how Vanicola wants to run, somebody should just tell me it's actually finished upfield.
Good turnover, great position for turnover. Obviously in the Tonga 22, you can see it here. Quite hard to see. Good secondary rucking there. Greg Laidlaw turns it round. Rob Harley gets it, but then this is at the end. Tries to go wide there from Visser to Richie Greig under so much pressure, but the penalty had already been given. I think Scotland really will look to get some points, minimum 3, but they've gone for the 5 here, they've gone for the line out again. This is the 3rd time they've had a line out deep in the Tongan 22.
Forward. Lobbed over to Harley. Harley takes it deep. Ball at the back of the maul. Staying on the feet, that's a mile offside. Taken quickly, is it going to be by, well, taken originally for side entry, but obviously I didn't see if the Tongans didn't put anybody into the maul. In which case you can do that, as we know. Latu can come round, but if they had anybody in the maul, he was a mile offside.
Scotland, you have to be aware of if you break
going
off,
through their options. Deep in 22, they'll practice these. What will you do? You get line out close to the Tongan line. Johnny Gray is calling the line outs. The youngest man in the pack, he's calling the line outs.
Yeah, mentored by Al Kellogg too, the last couple of years, on how to call line outs. Cowan. Oh boy, that's a mile offside. Yeah. That was a little bit obvious because...
No, you took the gamble, off you go.
Well, that's 2 within 30 seconds that are the most obvious offsides. The maul was formed, there was Tongan players engaged. You rightly say, if there wasn't a Tongan player, he's right to do that, but there was. We can see it here, set up very well. Johnny Gray line out. It gets back to Blair, Cowan. They just take their time, but look at Latu. There's three Tongan players engaged in the maul, and he comes right in front of JP Doyle, and no wonder that's a yellow card. 2 in 30 seconds.
That's a big mistake because he's a very good player. Just as JP Doyle said, took the gamble. Richie Greig. Back to Harley.
One side, pulling it down.
Yeah, another collapse. So that was Milau, Tavita Milau, who was a judge of coming from the side. Laidlaw's in the back of that maul, I think, as well. He's going for his pocket for a second cinder.
Captain, I need a captain. Your 7's in the bin. Number 1, not you. Number 1. Who's captain?
Yeah.
Let's get a bit of room.
I think they're breaking off.
Listen, at the maul time, you've got number 1 clearly coming in the side and tackling it after the maul is called. Okay? I'm not viewing it as breaking off. Too many penalties, they'll keep going to the bin, okay?
What about when it's going down?
You need to talk to them about your offences.
Very clear there from JP Doyle. Number 1's going inside, they can see it just, it is on the ground. Milo just went in the side there, he comes in from the back that time, but the offence had already occurred, so as he said, it's piling up. The number, that's 4 penalties for the same offence.
Well, you have to feel the Scots will have done their homework. This is what they think they can succeed with. So 14 minutes gone, still 3 points down, and another line out, looking for the 5 points.
Stay 2 metres, 7 Scotland.
So Tonga can collapse this quickly if they want.
One smack first come up.
So this looks a bit more promising with the kind of speed on it. Cowan's at the back there. He's maybe a yard away. And the try's been given. So all that pressure, all those line-out practices have paid off as Blair Cowan, I think, was the man who had it to start with. Should have got downward pressure.
Yeah, it was good patient play there from Scotland. They just knew what they were trying to do and they eventually executed it pretty well. Blair Cowan's getting the plaudits, but that's a team try, that's a forward pack try. He's at the back there, you can see there, I just thought it was flying over. It slowed down, but they kept the composure and he got across the line.
Yeah, it's good coordination, maybe a couple of high bodies. The Tongans there just fighting to get in the way, but I think that body went underneath him, but Cowan just got the ball down right in front of JP Doyle. There he is. Blair Cowan, he's really impressed, hasn't he? These 3 tests, he's got a bit of bang about him. He's got some skills on the ball. He's a good tackler. Very brave in the 7 jersey. And Laidlaw's kick sails between the posts. Scotland have maybe another, 7 or 8 minutes of a man advantage too.
But Joe, what they've done well there is they've responded to going down to the penalty, and they did that very well against Argentina in the first game. It's all about reacting well to how you concede points, and Scotland yet again have come back and got a try.
Visser goes long.
That was very much a contrast in disciplines, wasn't it? Tonga were ill-disciplined with their line-out defence, with their maul defence. Scotland were very disciplined in their execution of the maul, and eventually they get over to get that well-earned try.
But we know that Tonga, with ball in hand, can be as good as many of the nations around. Big men. There's the two second row I talked about, Loka Tui and Tui now, Joe Tui now, Lyon. Former American footballer. Good steal. I think that's Dickinson driving over. Laidlaw, Greig, Harley, round the corner. Lots of bodies. Finn Russell.
Open play.
Russell presents. Did he release? He didn't release.
Open play for 6 to enter. Open play.
So it was good build-up play by Scotland, but very good defensive play by Kalamafoni, the number 6 for Tonga, who went in through the gate and managed to get to snaffle Finn Russell and would get the turnover. But up to that point, good interplay again between forwards and backs. John, we're seeing that. The offloading, they're not just going for one hit up, they're looking to play the game.
Here's the lesson, here's the play, and this is Russell. So it's in behind, Harley in behind Russell. Thinks about passing, nothing on, goes himself. Good tackle, and as you said, in through the gate. Hands on ball, stayed on his feet, not enough Scottish bodies to clear the ruck away.
Textbook play there from Kalamafoni. Scotland will need to start targeting him before he gets his hands on the ball, because he's that big. You can do that, and you can play him out the game.
Lutui with a throw, goes long. Slightly loose, pass back, snaffled by the Laidlaw. There'll be no scrum half. Seymour calls that he's in there. A look out. Longer pass to Ford. Ford does well. Ford staying up. Pumps those legs. He's got to get to deck there, or else it's going to be a maul. He does get to deck. Laidlaw's thinking is told to go right. Chips instead. These big Tongans go back. This is Lilo. He calls a mark.
Stay there. Stay, Scotland.
You're not just going to unlock the Tongans, are you, in any easy way?
No, you're not.
They're going to have to create chances, get pace on the ball, speed on the ball.
That man down there, I'd have, like Greg Laidlaw, maybe to have thrown that route wide. Let's try it, stretch the defence, see what they're like, defending down to 14 men. But then again, they've still got a line out here in a good position.
Yeah, the kick's made about 15 metres actually, because the kick out from Lilo takes Scotland just inside the Tongan half. If you just joined us, this is a rugby park. It's a fully artificial pitch. It's a lot harder than the likes of Saracens. Johnny Gray fakes, 2 fakes. Deep one. Hogg. Missed that through Beatty's hands. A brilliant play by Visser, who looked to have been smashed in contact. Playing much wider today, Scotland. Robert Harley is caught, and that's going to be an offside.
They're trying to play. The execution's just not quite there. They're fizzing out long passes, and they're not just quite going to hand. You can see it here. This is Greig Laidlaw. Comes out to Finn Russell. He fizzes it to Harley. Harley should take that, but it was just slightly high.
Well, he was lined up by 4 men in red jerseys. Not playing the same way they played against the All Blacks nor the Argentine, which was much more one-pass rugby, get over the gain line. This is wider stuff today.
They're trying it, and it's the right thing. Rob Harley, I think, has been outstanding in the first 2 games. I think probably Greig Laidlaw over the 2 games would be Scotland's player of the series so far, but he'll be pushed very, very hard by Rob Harley. He's been outstanding. His work rate is phenomenal. He'll be disappointed with that mistake, but up to now he's been fantastic.
Takes a long time, does Visser, but it's worth waiting for, because another 3 points to Tonga. And Scotland, everything that's gone wrong has been of their own doing, Andy, hasn't it? A couple of line-out mistakes, wider play, wider passes, pushing things.
Yeah, they're just making mistakes. They've made 3 handling errors so far. Yeah, and that's the key. You're just giving possession away.
Here's the chase is long. Matthew's underneath it. Kalamafoni. That's good running this time by Halafonua. Lutui thinks about going the short side. Tongan standoff. 1 or 2 pass game. Onto the halfway line. They've got a back attack lined up here. Through the big man. This is Fetu'u.
Part of the tackle. Part of the tackle.
I think he's saying he didn't release. He was part of the tackle. So you've got to tackle somebody. If you want to go in for a second bite, you've got to release, then go in. You'll sometimes see players, won't you? They'll take their hands away to show that what they're trying to do is go in for the second bite. But he's saying that Dunbar, he's saying, was the tackler.
Says that it comes out wide. Scotland's defence is looking good. Tommy Seymour is in. He's not the tackler. Alex Dunbar is not the tackler. Doyle's got the wrong. I think he went off his feet. I think he could have given the penalty possibly for going off his feet, but he wasn't the tackler. Tommy Seymour was.
You can sense the crowd's a bit worried here, Andy Nicol. Just the Tongans showing enough, even when they're a man down, to cause problems. So Pasita.
Will probably look back.
Let's have a look at this.
Oh.
Lays him down, goes down bottom first.
The trouble is he did take him above the horizontal.
JP, I'm not seeing any replays on the screen here.
Because Alasdair takes him up. Johnny Gray, Richie Gray there is in helping.
And it's very hard to hear. They've got the music on as well.
The key is, if you take a player off the ground, you've got to make sure they get down safely and you don't drive them down. He gets them above the horizontal, he then lets go.
Yeah, just whether you're supposed to bring him down or did he drop him.
There's no harm of injury here, but I think technically Alex Dunbar there is going to take him down. I think they're going to say that'll be a yellow card against Alex Dunbar.
No, but can you tell me if you are showing a replay because there's nothing on the screen?
Well, Mr. Doyle saying he's not getting the replays on the screen, and he's talking to Mr. Damasco saying, tell me what to think.
No, I see nothing. All I'm getting is a shot of currently where we are in the pitch.
I just got to apologise. There's a little problem here in the stadium. It's not being shown on the screen. Therefore, I think Mr. Damasco is just trying to tell referee Mr. Doyle what's happening.
So, without Richie Gray now, if Richie Gray wasn't there, I think that's a clear yellow card because it went above the horizontal and Alex Dunbar did not replace the attacking player.
Okay, can I ask you for
Here we go. Let's be quiet and listen to
show
this.
it on the screen. I have a lip tackle, which is a penalty only. Do I need to give a higher sanction?
Well, like you, we can't hear the TMO.
Against 12 Scotland.
So it's going to be asked for a higher sanction. He's walking across. This is either going to be a penalty or a yellow card.
It's a tip tackle, okay, on his back, so yellow card.
Yellow card. As you were right, Andy Nicol. So Alex Dunbar. After all that is Simbin. So now we've got Tonga with a man advantage. Let's see what they try to do.
That's the thing, you just cannot lift players off the ground these days unless you take them back down safely to terra firma. Dunbar didn't do that, so he gets 10 minutes for it.
These are dangerous times for the Scottish rugby team. They're looking for revenge, but at the moment, if we're honest, they're not firing on all cylinders. Playing wide. Taken by Locatui. Bézier player, south of France. They look up, he's got Fosita. Takalua's got Fosita outside him. Little pod of forwards. Latu, nearly Latu. Round the corner they go, but they also flood left to the big man. Could be Kalamafoni on the crash. He's ignored. Instead, they give it to Vainicolo. Or Vexita. Proud rugby league family too. Latu is collared by Dickinson. Little chip ahead through the gap, and a bit of territory for Tonga, who are just playing safe with a man extra, and Scotland now have to defend.
Yeah, they have, and we're seeing them now being tested like they've not really in the autumn series so far, and it's good for their development to have this test to see how they'll cope with this 10 minutes. What I've been really impressed so far in the first two games is how they've exited the 22. Last week against New Zealand, they played phase after phase. They showed great ambition and actually good contact skills.
Harley's used a lot in these lineups. Cowan has it. Tongans drive them back though. So he's got one more stoppage before he's been told to use. So Laidlaw's being told to use it. Back to Russell. Scotland just struggling to keep that ball in the middle. Held on. And Russell took it up. I think he was expecting bodies to be outside him.
Hey, go. No. You don't talk on that penalty.
Let's have a look at this, because again they're trying to go out but a bit exposed. Finn Russell keeps hold of the ball, but Latu there's just not cleared out. You can see Greig Laidlaw has to fight for it. He gets it, and then it's on the ground, and JP Doyle has said that is a penalty against Scotland for holding it in, which I'm not sure I would agree with.
Well, no matter, it's a 2-point deficit for Scotland, and this man so far, Fosita of Northland, Latiumi Fosita, has been kicking well. Here he goes. 27 minutes gone. Tonga coming more into the game now with 15 men on the pitch. Crowd is a bit edgy and nervous. This probably wasn't in the script. Scotland have been doing well so far, but this man's right boot is doing even better. You can hear just that little sense of anticipation. It's 12-7, Andy.
Well, what we've seen obviously is Fosita is a very good goal kicker. Four chances, 4 kicks, 12-7 in the lead. So Scotland know they can't give away penalties, but what they're doing is their discipline, which has been really good in the first 2 games, and their skill level and execution of the first 2 games has just dropped off a bit here today.
But they're also playing much more well taken by Visser. Visser bang goes through one now to Johnny Greig over the 22. There's a back division streaming for this. Gives it to Richie Greig. Richie Greig heads into another bunch of big red jerseys. Ford thinks once, thinks twice. Presents ball. Laidlaw, shorter game. Dickinson. Half of Tonga was waiting for him. Looks outside this time for Johnny Greig. Johnny Greig in a big red meat sandwich. Bodies to the left. Cowan tries to spin. Geoff cross in to help support. Beattie in between 2 men. Spins out the first tackle. Laidlaw. Russell. Lamont. Good defence. Cowan going backwards. Nailed. Scotland regroup, re-ruck. Laidlaw. Gray. Cross. And so far the Scots have gone backwards. Laidlaw thinks about going left. They're a man down. Little chip for Visser. If this sits up, it could be good for him. He does. He spins out the tackle, but that's a good bit of defence there. Caught under pressure was the Tongan defence, but Visser, well, he had a chance.
Yeah, it was good defence all round by Tonga there, because Scotland threw everything at them, but they defended really aggressively. Greig Laidlaw puts a little left-footed chip in. It bounced up nicely here. He just thought he was away there, but just a good bit of defence by Tonga in the end.
Yeah, Lilo. Vunga Lilo plies his rugby in France, another of these French-based Tongans. And Tonga with a man up this defending goal. It's going to be no charge down and a penalty ball, says JP down for offside. They'll bring it all back. They think they scored, but there's been a penalty awarded for offside. And the crowd shows their displeasure, but there's only one man in charge.
It's that fine balance there. Greig Laidlaw's been penalised. Let's see if we can see. He's behind there. He's behind there. He's going to wait for the hands are on.
Hands are on. I think it's been called by the touch judge.
I mean, these things, you've got to be on the line. Clearly, if you want to exert pressure on the kicker, you've got to be right on the offside line. And that's been interpreted that he was over it. I'm not sure it was. Look at that. Yeah, I think it was actually. He's got to be the rearmost foot. From that angle, it was the right call.
Tonga then to throw in. Fetu'u picks the big men out in the middle. They go for a long, thin maul. At the back with it is Latu. He's been in everything, hasn't he? Plays in Japan, played for New Zealand schools. Hogg. We haven't seen much of Hogg at all. Stuart Hogg does well though, just spins through a couple. Gives it out the back to Laidlaw, to Russell. Russell with his charge. There's a lot of mistakes being made here. This is the big centre. Fetu'u. And Tonga now with ball in hand. Sweeping around this blind side. The big Castro prop, Nunu. Tonga playing a very efficient, standard French game. One hit up, then try and get another hit up. Then maybe a back attack. Another big man halfway through. And the defence looking a bit ragged here. Scotland's defence, this is width. This is width to Fetu'u. Fetu'u offloads inside, so they stand off for Sita. Tonga playing well here. Mafu. Takalua to another big pot of forwards heading right. Momentum is with Tonga at the moment. You can't say anything else. Momentum is with Tonga. Latu feeds on to the big fella again. Fanunu. Fanunu's brought to ground, but back it comes. Through for Sita. Back inside to Halai Funua. Two-man on the left. Scottish defence getting around a bit ragged. Look for the short one. Spins out the tackle. Hogg has this. He could score. Nobody is going to catch Stuart Hogg. He is a flying machine. And after all that pressure, despite the man down, Hogg will be right to team the ball.
Defence. Forced a mistake. And when you've got a player like Stuart Hogg who can run the length, there's always a chance. And that was good disciplined defence up to that point. They were falling off, sort of half falling off tackles. I thought Tommy Seymour might get another interception for the third week running there. He missed it. Good tackle there.
That was the tackle.
They turned it over. Tommy Seymour went out there. You thought it was there, but a good tackle by Finn Russell. And then once Stuart Hogg gets it, there was no way he was getting stopped.
I have to tell you, I saw his father being turned away from the car park earlier on. And Stuart Hogg is one of the great players, isn't he, coming through? And this lad, if he keeps his feet on the ground, he could be one of the world's great players.
Well, you said it in the build-up. We hadn't really seen much of Stuart Hogg in the first 33 minutes. And then he made a slight line break, and then he got the turnover there. He's got Scotland back in front.
That's true, his line break. So, 12 apiece, Greig Laidlaw. Laidlaw just pulls that right foot back and caresses the ball to give Scotland the lead. It's not been all Scotland by any manner of means here. I'm looking to see if Dunbar is back on the pitch. I don't think he is. Scotland still a man down, so Scotland scored that. Well, there's Mum and Dad, John and Margaret Hogg. But he was turned away from the car park. He should have just played for Hoyt.
That's because he was a referee.
Well, no, he was one of the great players for Hoyt before that. Hoyt, the green machine. Laidlaw. He's developed, hasn't he, Greig Laidlaw? He's said it himself that just that little move to England's sharpened him.
No, it has very much so. He seemed to take one or two steps last year playing for Edinburgh and for Scotland as Alec Dunbar comes back on to the full complement, but he's zipping the ball away from the base of the ruck and bringing real pace and tempo. He's been really good for Scotland so far. Man of the match against Argentina. He played pretty well last week as well.
I'm just guessing though what Scotland have been trying to do is sling this ball and keep pace on the game, use their fitness.
It because we had a day. You know, we're resetting. Okay, you've gone up, he's twitched, we're resetting.
what came first.
Is this
first defence.
The twitch or the early jump? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That's probably the right call, JP Doyle. Just let's go again.
Well, it was a mess. Fetu'u taken beautifully, it has to be said, by Fetu'u of Béziers. And this is what they do. They get across that first tackle through the hands of Fetu'u. Fetu'u out to Laidlaw, and then on the wing here, Vinokola strong enough. I like the way the Tongans play. Here's the French stuff just about to come up.
Yeah, that was clear offside because the scrum half. Takulua just got the pass caught in one of his fellow players' legs, which meant then the ball went forward. And when the Tongan picked it up, it was clearly in front. Scotland will get another chance for Finn Russell to get us down deep into 22.
Out of there a bit quicker. I'm seeing your number.
Now the Scots, I think they'll want to just up the pace in this, but here's what the Tongans do, and this is the infringement.
Yeah, Hogg makes the tackle. Alex Dunbar is in there. Stuart, Ross Ford's in there. You just see the back here. Takulua just hits off there and it goes forward, and unfortunately then Fetu'u was in an offside position.
Scottish line out. Johnny Gray in the middle of a pod, takes it easily, back. Cowan takes the hit up inside to Seymour. That's called as a forward pass.
Yeah, looked at it as well. Certainly from we're up here behind, we're right behind it. It's a move that Glasgow do a lot. They get the blindside winger attacking around the fringes.
Just a little bit to the left.
It just upsets the drift. So the defence is drifting out with the ball carrier. That little inside pass can go through a gap.
Don't squeeze it down.
Handling errors 4 each for Tongan and Scotland, and that's where Scotland will be most disappointed. I just think they've made a few basic mistakes that we've not seen in the first 2 games, and they've also they're not missing tackles, John, but they're just not making the big stop tackle that they've been doing in the first 2 games.
That's the shot of Geoff cross. Tight head. We've not seen too many scrums.
That's the only chance you get to pre-engage. Keep your space. No. Don't pre-engage. Yep.
These packs are heavy. 907 kilograms. The Scots, the Tongans 902 kilograms. So just the 5 kgs extra in total. But the Tongan pack, France, England, France, predominantly playing in the top teams. Here we go. Mafu short to Paya. Cowan's on that ball. And I guess key is they'll smash up round the corner, try and smash up again. Scotland weren't quick enough at getting the ball off them.
5, not rolling.
Yeah, we can see there's been a lot of penalties given away, John. That was the only second scrum of the whole half, first half. 38 minutes was the second scrum. A lot of the phases have ended up in penalties or turnovers. It's been quite disjointed. I mean, there's been a lot of effort from both sides, but there's been a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, your 7 traps you there. You got to sort that out.
Yeah, it's such a fast pitch.
You look at that, the penalty conceded. There's 6 penalties conceded from Scotland from just before the 20 minutes to 30 minutes. And that's where the yellow card occurs, and you can see why. Very good graphic.
Tongan line out. There's the Tongan back division. And there's a good view of the bulk and size in the Tongan pack. Long throw. Taken well. Fetu'u now to Piutau.
Accidental obstruction. 3 kicks it in. 12.
You're right, Andy. Lots of mistakes being made, aren't there? Nothing's too clean. It's an easy pitch to play, but nothing's. A lot of these rucks are ending up in infringements.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's down to the pressure. I mean, both sides are defending very aggressively. Their line speed is good. In Scotland here, Alex Dunbar, very solid. Their look is good. Blair Cowan's in support. Look at the secondary effort from Alex Dunbar, which forces the turnover. You know, there's a lot of effort going in, a lot of good play. No one's getting a chance to sort of relax. It's no contact's easy, but that means your execution and your accuracy has got to be very, very good.
And as you say, just watching Dunbar there, nowadays if there's a ruck or a maul and you've made the tackle, they try and fly past the ball.
Fine.
Scotland scrum.
Set.
Harley providing some beef behind cross. Going to keep his footing. Ball comes back and it goes down. So almost every scrum nowadays
Number 3.
You could write an article, a logic article about how scrums are a means of winning penalties.
Yes, yeah. If you take it now.
Couldn't you? Well, people. Well, I don't want to name the teams, but you'll find teams now who are going forward will deliberately collapse a scrum to get the penalty.
You could write an article. An article I would like to watch.
Nobody would read. I think we've got to sort these scrums out. I don't know about you, but I think the more they start collapsing these scrums, the time should be there where we can sin bin props. They're just yellow card if you start collapsing 2 scrums.
Something has to happen.
Over 15.
Long ball. Short one. Oh, and he just knocked it on. He was through the gap. That's an old line-out move. You know, that's an old All Blacks line-out move. And also, I think that there was a try scored against the All Blacks with that move.
Well, Scotland have used it before in the past, but you know what? That in many ways that just actually sums up Scotland's performance in the first half. You know, the execution just hasn't been quite there. There's been too many mistakes, and unfortunately they've not been able to get them.
Player, Mitrea, another Gloucester player, and this is a breakthrough, offloaded.
Option or no?
And it's Andy, it's just one of these games where you're thinking either side could break through now, couldn't they? Because you've got Tonga here flinging the ball right to left, had a man over on the left, good defence stopped it, but there's always a chance they could come back and sneak this Viagogo test.
Yeah, and you've got to, the accuracy's got to be there. We've said it, everyone's said it, we've said it, the boys in the studio have said it, Duncan Hodge have said it. We now need to see it put into action by the players.
And we know the Tongans can scrummage. Scotland now have to generate some kind of solid platform here because, as you say, almost every scrum up until now, and there haven't been many, every scrum's ended up in some kind of infringement. Why the scrums have gone down. We've been on the pitch just to tell people, what did you make of the pitch when you walked across it earlier on?
It's great. I mean, I would have loved to have played in it as a scrum half because there's no mud to allow the ball to get slippy. We don't. It's a fast game. The ball's presented well. You know, I think it's a great surface to play rugby on.
Okay, so far it hasn't been brilliant for the front rows, who've, I think, struggled a bit to keep their footing. It's rolled in, forward momentum from Scotland, just goes round halfway. Picked up safely at the Blacks. And it's been turned over again. First man in was nearly Latu. Latu got his hands on it. And he enjoyed just presenting himself ready for the ball.
There's another defensive line, and this is going to happen. Again, that was a case of Ross Ford being stuck in there, not being able to get out, but referee won't care about that.
Number 4 has failed to roll away, number 5 has failed to roll away. It's the same offence that keeps happening. I need you to change what's happening there, otherwise.
Okay, very clear. I think the next penalty, irrespective if it's not for rolling away, I think we're into the area where it could be a yellow card.
Let's have a look at this. Obviously started, the scrum was wheeled, so the scrum was tidy ball. Latu got it. This is Latu again. He's just everywhere, isn't he? He's down the ground. Ross Ford is there on top of the ball. Mind you, he's being held where he is.
And that's good play from Tonga to keep him there, because they know penalty. By keeping him there, they're going to get the penalty. But again, it came from a turnover. It should be in a Scotland scrum. Johnny Beattie picked up from the base, it got turned over. So Scotland are giving away a penalty when they had possession. So keep possession, keep the discipline, and they'll get a foothold in this game. At the moment, they're just giving the ball to Tonga.
And the light day is just disappearing. You get the feeling the sheen is just being rubbed off some of the Scottish performance too, because Tonga have exposed a few cracks. Fosita, well, he's pulled that one, and this will be a sigh of relief. And that's a little let off, just that 2-point advantage. The Scots need to get their hands on the ball and get attacking, or this could be another really upsetting day if you're a Scottish rugby supporter.
Yeah, they need to up their game. It's in their hands, absolutely in their hands. Cut out the mistakes and they'll be fine. But Fosita's first miss there, he's been outstanding. First half, the 4 contacts he made for the 4 kicks were beautiful.
Russell Long. Underneath it, Halai Fonua. Halai Fonua takes the short route into Cowan, strips the ball, got it back again.
Ripped forward, ripped, go forward. You've ripped the ball clear. It's gone forward. Regained off a red player.
Okay, very clear. Blair Cowan ripped it. Good defence. You can see the response he's getting from his players. Let's have a look at this. So he's ripped it.
Well recovered, but don't let go your mind.
Well, this was the straight-in charge. He stays high, goes for the ball, rips it, and it just goes forward off his arm and his guts. And then he gets it back, but it went forward. So it's going to be a scrum to Tonga, bang on the halfway line. Bit of momentum needed in this game because this is a vital game for both teams.
Bind.
Leading to Six Nations and World Cups. Fanunu, big tight head prop, solid scrum, no need for Tonga to panic. Out it goes, 9-10. In behind, Halaifonua bottled up in midfield. Tongans course round the side, Cowan in with a thumping tackle. Likewise, off his wing, Seymour cuts in just to mow somebody down. Again, they just play simple rugby, don't they? They've taken it across the pitch, playing a one-pass game. They came back inside, but this time, good defence, man on the ball.
Yeah, Scotland have
only be Robert Harley.
Scotland have defended generally very well. Their line speed's been good. They've been muscular in defence. They've knocking them back. What they've not been able to get is the turnover. But then, if you keep doing that, then you're asking questions of the attack to stay on their feet. And unfortunately, for Tonga, Latu didn't and has conceded a penalty.
Well, and Finn Russell has caressed the ball to, within nearly 20 metres of the Tongan line. They'll have a little chat. Finn Russell with the wink saying, yep, I understand. Will this go through him, or will this be another maul?
A little bit.
Floodlights are on. Forward. Not startled. Harley didn't look too straight to me. Cowan has. As Kalamafori tries to come around and seal it up. Harley's still going. He's broken off, so Harley's alone. He's got to get down. Get that red body out. That's better. Laidlaw to Beattie. Beattie spins. Laidlaw. Harley, this is more like it. This is what they were doing against the All Blacks to start one-pass game. That's somebody diving over the ball. Finn Russell goes right. Had Seymour inside him. Dunbar steps inside one. It's a brilliant try by Alex Dunbar. Just stood one man up, handed off the other. Great piece of vision by Russell. Scotland in for another try here at Rugby Park in Kilmarnock.
Now that was very good in the finish from Alex Dunbar, but as you say, the vision of Finn Russell to go back down the blind side, because he saw there was a mismatch, and Alex Dunbar, there was still a lot to do, and he took it very well indeed. You can see here, Scotland are going to go open, but Finn Russell comes back where all the defence is coming up. Nice pass out there, and there it is. It's just a one-on-one with Maiafu. A good finish by Alex Dunbar. Well played, Scotland. Finn Russell and Dunbar.
Well, Dunbar is one of these finds, and he just has a kind of power to him, and he's got some speed as well, and Dunbar doesn't normally get closed down from that kind of distance. Came inside Mafu, big hand off. That was on Fanunu. And that's, I guess, what you backs always liked, running it two forwards.
Not when that size.
You didn't. Laidlaw. Will it carry? It carried, but it carried right. So there's a 7-point margin.
So there's the spark. That's what Scotland needed in the second half. That was a good try, good team try, finished off very well by the good decision by Russell and a great finish by Dunbar. Scotland now need to crack on from this now, push on from here.
And I think, as the lad said, everything before this was going through 9. And now we're back in the second half to things. Runners off 9 and Dunbar eventually coming on that right-hand side. So you think a change of tactics, Andy Nicol? Half-time, Scotland more direct. Laidlaw.
It's interesting, every time there's been a kick-off received, Greg Laidlaw's taken it every time and he's just kicked it straight down. They've not tried anything in their 22 because I think they're very confident in their line-out defence, and they know if they get down to the halfway line, they can exert real pressure on the Tonga line-out.
It's a 4-man line-out with 2 big second rows and 2 supporting props. goes Johnny Greig, could be in for this. Greig nicks it, Russell goes back, gives it to Beattie. Beattie comes round this short side.
Do you want me to take that? I mean, Johnny Beattie took the ball off Finn Russell, and he just needed to keep inside. He looked initially to make the kick. He then decided not to, wait till he's under pressure. He put it out in the field. You see, he gets it for Finn Russell. Comes round here. There's a bit of space actually. Come off your left foot, take it in, recycle it, and let Finn Russell make the kicking decision.
Fetu'u. That's a loose one. Harley has it, gives to Cowan. Cowan has a man out. Oh, he's great at sometimes some of this stuff he does. Played on. And that is turned over now by Tonga, is it? Or 2 knock-ons. It's going to be a scrum to Scotland. You're right about the Scottish line-out defence. Every time the Tongans try to get the ball, there's pressure.
Yeah, it is real strong there, and Rob Harley gets it. Good decision. Blair Cowan gets it to Finn Russell. This is where it had to go. It had to go there. He just took one step too long, Finn Russell. He made a good decision for the try. That was one he had to give earlier.
That was Cowan. This is where you think Finn Russell could have just gone. Mind you, he'd have been thinking my teammate could have been smashed. And there's Harley in again.
That's where you have to look up and scan. He has to look up very quickly and make that decision. He saw that Dunbar was just away. Pass had to go.
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Scotland win the scrum. Laidlaw looked slightly nervously over to see if that was okay. Beattie gives it straight to Hogg. Hogg was at 10. Dunbar again just nosing through that little gap. Couple of good bits of blasting there. Hogg into Cowan. Laidlaw. More of a one-pass game. John Lamont. Ross Ford. Richie Greig does well just to blast over the ball. Johnny Greig takes it on. Dickinson. Harley's there, looking for the penalty, I think, just trying to get some infringements.
Offside, never on, number 5.
Okay, they've got a penalty, just they've kept going now, they just keep moving too. Cowan, I tell you what, Cowan's played well today again, hasn't he? He's everywhere.
Yeah, he's been very good. Very tactically, very different from Scotland's second half. They've clearly tried something in the first half. It didn't work. They've gone back to what they did in the first 2 games. Much more tighter around the fringes. Hard running off 9. Forwards taking it on. Rob Harley's been prominent. Ross Ford has been prominent. Johnny Greig. We saw that a lot in the last 2 weeks. We didn't see it at all in the first half.
Yeah, first half everything was going through 10, wing to wing almost. Maybe a middle pod, maybe side, middle side. Now it's just one pass, get over that gain line, and if you're in front of the post, start a pick and go, which most of the top teams do, and you're looking for a penalty, and they got the penalty. Laidlaw now, this is a key kick. This has to take it to 2 scores. So just the 1 score in it. Now if this goes through, it's 2 scores. Laidlaw just relaxed. He's got a relaxed style of kicking, and the ball just goes between the posts. 22-12, 10 points the margin. In the driving seat, and it's taken to the middle of the second half.
Oh, how him and the Scottish nation wish they could have done that last week with 10 minutes to go against New Zealand, just to get Scotland's noses in front. But you just see how he's reacted very, very well. Playing a good game here again today, taking Scotland further in front, 10 points. It's been a good 10 minutes for Scotland.
It has indeed. Long ball again to Laidlaw. Laidlaw, let's see if he does what you said he's been doing all the time. Straight to touch. It is straight to touch. The Tongans, well, they go quickly. They think about it, as Fetu'u had a little look inside. But good game management from Greg Laidlaw.
It is, but I mean, Tonga have kicked off to him every single time, and he's not really moved around the 22, so they've not changed their kick-off strategy. And every time after a kick-off, they're finding themselves throwing into a line-out in and around their halfway line under severe pressure from Scotland's line-out.
Okay, there's some big players coming on. Elvis Taioni is on now. From Exeter, we've got Sione Leah from Taranaki and Sila Fisi,
10 metres.
who was red carded when he was playing for Gloucester against Bath for a very high tackle.
Backwards, knocked on.
Okay, Scotland have the ball. Laidlaw, Russell, Dunbar just plays safe. Gets the ball in behind, and that's a lovely little kick by Dunbar. Just makes the Tongans go back and regroup.
It's a part of his game that I've been looking to see him develop, because he's normally an outside centre at 13. Certainly last year when he scored those 2 tries in Rome with Matt Scott inside him. But as a 12, you really need to be a kicker as well. So that tactically was a good kick, and good that he's got that in his game as well.
Tongans take it quickly. Standard exit strategy. Hit the middle.
No,
now it'll be pulled back to 10. And it is. It's... well, mind you, here we go. This is better. This is Fasita. It was to Vainakolo. And Tonga now with the ball. This time back to Fasita. Fasita seeks touch and finds it. And the crowd like the fact that you can actually hit the ball off the roof here in Kilmarnock, which is famous, by the way, for having the best pie in the country.
Yeah, the Killie pie. I've not sampled it yet.
£3.
Nobody's brought one to us here.
5, Sione, 5.
I think Fasita's had a good game, hasn't he, at 10? He's been pretty good. Just put the ball between his hands. There he is.
Yeah.
And that half-back partnership of Takalu and Fasita, they've not done much wrong. And he's put the ball between the posts. He's a big, strong player.
They're a club partnership as well at Northland, and you know, to play in New Zealand, you've got to be good, obviously. So these guys have got a lot of rugby about them.
Johnny Greig.
Yeah, there's a penalty. I saw Tonga player came through the line out. I think it was Lokatui came through, and there was just a clear pull back. Just, let's see if we can see who it was.
After the line out. After the line out, sir.
Geoff Cross. I think Geoff Cross and Richie Gray had a hand on his shirt and his shorts to protect the scrum half.
It is much more difficult to block in the line-out, isn't it, when you have so many lifters now? People involved. There he is.
That's some beer, doesn't it?
Yeah. Ooh, I think yesterday's tea's in there somewhere. Right, Tonga will want to get some points on the board. Again, over the top, Cowan. It's Russell. Long pass out to Lamont. Lamont has Hogg inside. Gives it though instead to Visser. Visser was told to pass in. He was looked to be bundled into touch. The referee says play on. No, that's touch now, and it's going to be a line out to Scotland. Well, that was a good piece of enterprising play. Just got a turnover, got the ball wide. And Visser, this big man, again, it's pressure in the line-out.
Absolutely. They don't have a clue where to throw because Scotland are just defending so well. Great pace from the outside backs here. He thought it'd all broken down, but actually did the right thing, put it back inside, which allowed then Scotland through Hogg and Dunbar to get the Tongans in touch, and Scotland have the line-out.
Greig, Laidlaw, Russell, Beattie, outward line, smashes through one. Ball comes back sweetly. Set move. Greig going to pull it back to Hogg. Hogg dances. Goes down pretty early.
He's got Johnny Greig from coming at the side.
Full release by this guy. Side entry 5.
Yeah, the angle that the forwards are supporting, they're coming in at that angle. We can see here, Stuart Hogg comes back. There's Johnny Greig, and he's been penalised from coming in at the side there.
He was too.
He was. His brother was fine, but Johnny came in from the side.
It's a coaching point, dude. There's Johnny Greig. The coaching point there, because often forwards are coached to take one arm on the arm, another arm on the leg. And naturally you end up going to the side of the player, and it looks as though you're coming in from the side, but that one he was coming in.
Inside if you
so a bit of momentum on the Tongan side here. Longer ball, Johnny Greig nicked it. Richie Greig to Ford. There's hands on this. Finn Russell spins it and slices it long to Lilo. Vonga Lilo. Oh, tried to go straight through him, through Lamont. Lamont did well just to keep his presence of mind.
It's there.
Calamafoni. Nicely in behind. Visser with a valuable tackle.
2 knockdowns. 2 knockdowns. First Tonga, second Scotland.
Good defence again out wide. Tommy Seymour, Tim Visser for the defence. Look at this. This is Sean Lamont, number 13 shirt. He's just running straight, but he held on to him.
Carlo time.
Look at that. He just held on onto his bootlaces and effected the tackle.
Yeah, he did. He did well. So Geoff Cross, we can see there's just kneeling down, getting some treatment. He did indicate that he thought he'd gone in on his leg, maybe strained his medial ligament.
Thanks, Geoff.
You know, the last Scotland have just had, they built up a good momentum in that 10, 12, 15 minutes that they played really well, and they got the tries. We can see the tries that have happened so far.
Thanks, Doc.
Scotland got them, got all 3 of them. The first one was a nice line-out drive. Blair Cowan at the bottom of that. Suspicion of a double movement, but the referee gave it nonetheless. And that got Scotland just into the game. And then turnover ball, good pressure coming from Finn Russell. Stuart Hogg picks it up, runs the length. It was never, ever going to be stopped.
Yeah, Hogg was pleased. This was the 3rd try, and it was just that Russell bit of genius, wasn't it, to Alec Dunbar? And Dunbar looked up, saw a couple of forwards, and Dunbar was in and over and back live. The ball is at the heels of the Scottish pack. And it's a penalty again. It's just using a scrum to get a penalty.
Scotland pack has really upped their game in the second half. They've exerted unbelievable pressure at line-out time to the extent that the Tongan line-out has fallen apart. They don't have a clue where they're throwing it. And then the scrum here, very muscular. They get on the front foot. It was never coming out. Johnny Beattie was going to take it as far as it went to get the penalty. And they've really turned the screw, the pack, in the second half. And it's been good to see.
Yeah, they have. And they've been brought more into the game, haven't they? Because they've had more chance to run off Laidlaw. Come on, that one-pass game. Bit of treatment for Sione Lea. He's going back in. There's Finn Russell. It was just as you said. He spotted something, didn't he? Or maybe it was a training ground move.
No, that wasn't. That was just, he scans things very well. Every standoff, anyone who plays international rugby, but when especially standoff, you've got a scan in front of you to see and make very, very quick decisions. He's got a coach at Glasgow who is very good at that, Gregor Townsend, who's giving him a lot of help.
Forward. Gray's at the front. They switch to Johnny Gray. Johnny Gray in the middle. Dickinson with it. The Tongans are okay.
Use it. Tackle by 7. Unplayable. Tackle. Unplayable. It's not a maul. Otherwise you can't come round.
We talked about this earlier on because this time the Tongans, if you watch this again, cleverly did not put anybody in the line out. Therefore, there is no maul. There is no offside. Watch this as it unfolds.
Yep, so Johnny Gray gets it. They disengage, so they can come round and tackle it. So when it goes to ground, Latu comes in, and it's a tackle. So now it's a tackle. Scotland get the put into the scrum. If that had been a maul, and the ball hadn't emerged, then it would have been a scrum put into Tonga.
Crouch!
Of course, what you have to do, if that's happening to you as a team, is grab somebody from the opposition and bring them into your scrum, into your maul. Scrum to Scotland inside the Tongan 22. Trying to march them back again. Feet at the back. Another penalty.
This would be an interesting decision. I think they should go 3 points. Just keep the ticking over. But you can see all these forwards are wanting another crack at it. But Greg Laidlaw, he's the captain. It's my ball. I'm going to kick it.
Tell you what's interesting too, the Tongans have taken off their front row that was doing well, and they've put on their second string front row, and this is what happens. You keep the ball, they swing round, penalty.
And what I like about Vern Cotter in the game so far, he doesn't seem prescriptive in his changes from the bench. He only makes the changes when he needs to make the changes.
Well, I can see a couple warming up on the far side of the pitch.
But this is at 64 minutes, 65 minutes. How often have we seen it 55, 60? Bang, it just happens. Not due to what's happened on the pitch.
Because if you play in these games, you take 10 minutes to get into them, don't you? So if you put on with 15 minutes to go, you take your time. Laidlaw again, he's in superb kicking form. just puts another 3 points on the scoreboard. It's now Scotland 25, Tonga 12, 64 minutes gone, 16 left. And there's a few subs being made now.
Two changes for Scotland office with number 1 Dickinson. He's replaced by number 17 Reeds. And secondly, office number 8 Jonny Beattie. He's replaced by number 20 Alasdair.
Well, you heard there, Al Dickinson is off on his big Gordon Reid, and this is his home country. He used to play for Ayr just down the road. We used to play against him. And
yeah, we're waiting, Mikey.
Jonny Beattie's off, and on is Alasdair.
8. Sub 8. Where's 8?
So Strokosh will be keen to make an impression. He's a really rumbustious player. There he is, running away 20 on his back.
It's interesting to see who they actually go 8 now, because they've got Rob Harley, Blair, Cowan and Strokosh on in the back row. None of them are standout number 8, or an obvious number 8.
Maybe Blair Cowan's played number 8. Maybe they'll bring on someone like Kieran Lowe.
With all these changes, I'm sure it can't be helping the Tongan line out, which, as I said, because of the pressure Scotland are exerting, has fallen apart. Let's see if they can get it back.
Elvis Tyone of Exeter. Richie Greig steals it. And it's knocked on by a Tongan player, so it's going to be Scottish ball if they play this on, and they do indeed. Cowan out to Ford. Ford tackled behind gain line. Finn Russell is in the pocket. Laidlaw, he elects to go himself, and it's going to be taken by Halafuna. And just these 3 Tongan backfield players have got real gas, haven't they? But we've not seen the ball with them too much.
No, because second half the kicking has been so accurate, and there again Greig Laidlaw cleared up the line out. He gets back to his feet after one recycle ball, and then he puts in a good clearing kick out of his own half. Anytime you're kicking a scrum half from the 22, if you get it in the opposition half, that's been an excellent kick.
More pressure. Cowan. Strokosh, just that extra little roll. Ball comes back. Cross round the corner. Johnny Greig. Greig batters up. They flood left. Russell has Gordy Reid with him. That's a very good bit of play. Hogg now steps on the gas. He's got Visser to his left. Hogg, though, keeps going. Gives it to Lamont. Lamont stays up. Strokosh, he started it. And he's gone again. A couple of good bits of defensive play there by Tonga, but Laidlaw still has it. Russell. Through Russell again. Richie Greig. And they're producing this ball like sweeties from a machine as Visser comes round the corner. One pass game. Looks for Ford. Ford to Seymour. 5 or 6 metres out now. Johnny Greig looks for the short one. Richie Greig flicks them all in behind them. Finn Russell just taken slightly high. Stays, keeps going. Strokosh is in there again. Laidlaw with a short ball. Cowan batters up. Scotland now, just a 1 metre away. Another player flying over. And is that a try? Well, the referee, J.P. Doyle, wants another look.
He was right there. Geoff Cross, I think you look at the reaction of players, usually tells you. Now, everyone else is celebrating. Is he? I'm not sure under that bushy beard. Is he smiling? He certainly got over the line. It's whether he got the ball down.
Well, as is their wont, they will be walking back confidently, waiting for this try to be awarded. You analyse. Here's Geoff Cross.
So he takes on the 2 Tongan defenders. They get in good throw. That's a good position that they both get in, nice and low. He's got to work his way over. Okay, so he's still got possession of the ball.
That's a try.
That looks like a try to me.
Yeah.
You can't see the ball, and what will be difficult for Carlo Damasco, you can't see what you can't give what you can't see. think there's every chance that Geoff Cross has got that down. But if you can't see the ball down.
Don't think Fausto got underneath it. The big man coming in from the right. This is Cross. As you say, he's powered through a couple of tackles. Do we see this ball going to the ground or not? He's certainly over the line.
Look where JP Doyle is.
That's a try.
That looks like a try there. And look where JP Doyle is.
Carlo, yeah. Thank you.
And he's going to give it.
And the TMO, Carlo Damasco, belatedly awards the try for Geoff Cross, who's had a good afternoon's work here at Rugby Park in Kilmarnock, and if anybody deserves a try, it's that man.
And sometimes when you go to the TMO, you forget about the build-up, what led to that try, and it was very good play by Scotland, going back to what they've been doing so well in the last two games. Everything through Greig Laidlaw until that point, and that was what allows Finn Russell to attack the line. And it's off Greig there. This is multi-phase by this stage. This is the very end of it. A good offload with Johnny Gray.
Well, you get the feeling it's a whole lot better than 2 years ago when you and I covered that game in Aberdeen, which ended up in Andy Robertson quitting his post not long after the final whistle. 32 points to 12, 20-point margin. I'm surprised the Tongans have changed half their pack, actually, because they were doing okay. Well, this is Geoff Cross, and a good score. Russell. Russell goes long.
Come here. Come here. Stop. Ali, go behind the 22. Ali, behind the 22. Come here.
There was just a bit of afters there.
Just take a breath first.
Or even befores.
You're in the ruck. So
Ali Tapoli.
You're in the ruck. He can hold you till the ruck's over. Okay?
And Ali Strokosh had just a little bit of a conversation.
Well, let's watch and see how this conversation ended, shall we?
So Stuart Hogg takes it in. So we're looking at
just be calm.
Tapoli there, number 20. Ali Strokosh is next to him. He's got his leg.
There on the 22.
Well, let's be honest, fought both ways. He's grabbing his leg at the side of the ruck, and Ali Tapoli not too happy.
Both players would have done exactly the same in the opposite way.
Yep, set him on.
You hold anyone in you can. If they're close or engaged in the contact, you make sure they stay in there.
So the Tongans are emptying their bench. You've got Palu, Tomasi Palu on for Takalua, number 9. Good take again. Scotland have the ball.
Seymour.
Scotland Maul doing well. Good impetus. The Tongans trying to wheel it round.
Side 19. No, him.
They run off it. Halfway through the gap, and it looks as though it's going to be a penalty to Scotland now. What are they going to do? Seymour thinks about tap and thinks again.
More example of the forwards just really notched it up in the second half. Really tight, really good. There've been a couple of changes, but it doesn't matter. The quality is still there, and I think there's been a real difference. Tonga have taken off their first team, and there's been a drop in quality, but it's happened at the same time, John, as Scotland's performance has lifted a few levels.
Mailau is back on the pitch at loose head prop, so there must be an injury to Leah.
Ross Ford has gone off. He's been outstanding, I have to say. He's revitalised in the last 3 weeks.
And much expected of Fraser Brown too.
Transferred.
Again, Cowan took the ball at the back. Maul. 6 metres out. Scotland then just bit of forward momentum. Laidlaw begging for it, telling them to keep going. Scotland 4 or 5 metres away. That's the try line. Ball laid back for Laidlaw. Big Gordy Reid, 18.5 stone. A bullocking prop. Tongans claiming it's a penalty. Laidlaw can spy it though. He can also spy Johnny Gray. Might go longer. This is Gray with Richie Gray in behind. Strokosh. Cowan.
No hands, 20, Rook.
Laidlaw. Strokosh now comes in. Looks up. Strokosh battering up. He's only, 6 inches away. Could this be a pickup? Another try. Laidlaw goes wide. Very wide. Russell though, they read that, did the Tongans. And Russell is in a pretty big sandwich, but it's been called for offside, and it'll be another penalty to Scotland. And Alex Dunbar thinks of the quick one.
13 offside.
Yeah, again, very muscular play by Scotland, but then when he put it wide, Finn Russell just got a wee bit exposed. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. They were offside. They did get penalised. Maybe that's why it closed it down. But you just see
for the scrum.
And the right call. 32 points to 12 up. 8 minutes to go. Take the scrum. I wouldn't expect this to come out of this scrum. There'll be another effort by the Scottish forwards to get another try here.
And you can hear the crowd chanting. Greg Laidlaw's going off the pitch. On comes Chris Cussiter, the British and Irish line from Sale Sharks, and Laidlaw gets a big round of applause. He's played well too, Greg Laidlaw.
He has played very well, especially second half, where again they just went back to the tactics that they adopted in the first two games, of a lot of the game going through him.
Scotland, you must hold your engagement.
Technically very good today.
So Cussiter to put this one in, and let's see if you're right. They might just think, let's just walk this up the pitch and get another penalty if they can. Or double bluff, get the ball out to Dunbar and Lamont. And Tommy Seymour on the right wing, desperate for some possession. Solid scrum, look at that. Solid scrum. Cowan teases the ball forward.
No offence.
There was no offence. I don't think he was speaking to Chris Cussiter by taking it off. He was saying there was no offence committed at the scrum. It's a re-scrum.
If you drive up, you're liable for penalty.
And they're emptying the bench. On comes big Kieran Lowe from London Irish for Richie Greig. And also Duncan Taylor is coming on. So everybody's going to run at the moment except for Duncan Weir.
Time on, Carlo.
So there you can hear the cry of push or heave from the scrum. 5-6 minutes left. It's been a good afternoon's work, hasn't it?
Eventually.
Little dodgy phase in the middle.
Yeah, no, second half has been really good.
Free kick.
Cussiter.
They'll take it again.
Movement Tonga.
They'll go scrum again, I would reckon. I imagine the captaincy has just gone with the substitution.
Yep.
Chris Cussiter will be captain now.
And there's the big Robert Harley, number 6, who was a standoff.
We needed steady before the ball.
Until he was 16. Played at school, can kick a ball half the length of a pitch, no problem. But now he's 6'6", and he can tackle people half the length of the pitch, no problem as well.
He's still got a really good rugby brain from playing standoff.
He's got a good brain, full stop. He's a good scholar.
We need it steady.
We had Robert at West of Scotland, and he played a game where one of the older players said to him beforehand, he was about 16, I'll show you everything I know. And after the game, that same Robert Harley, he just sat beside the old bloke and said, actually, I think I showed you. He's got a kind of quiet confidence. He's not a flashy, showy player. He's just ideal for that modern number 6.
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
You can see Ryan Grant and Duncan Weir desperate to come on. That ball didn't come back very well. Strokos did well to rescue it. Takes a little extra roll just to help present the ball. Scotland have it. Kieran Lowe's there. So is Harley. Just that pick and go in front of the posts.
Advantage.
Penalty advantage again. This could go wide from here. Custo go through the middle to Finn Russell. Russell thinks of the long, high kick. Chased up by Taylor. Taylor underneath it. It's a try. That is a try for Tommy Seymour. Bit of vision from Finn Russell. Plan move. Kicked it up high into the dead ball area. It came back off a Tongan player. And another try for Scotland from that man, Tommy Seymour.
And he had to score. He scored the last 2 weeks. He had to get a third in 3 games here in Kilmarnock. Scotland used this tactic. Glasgow used this tactic. Penalty advantage. Stick up the Hail Mary. Put it in the in goal area, anything can happen, as it just did there. And Tommy Seymour, he's had interceptions in the first 2 games, and here he is, gets a knock back there from the Tongan. A simple try, but a well-worked try as well.
Well, it was really well worked, because this isn't a big dead ball area, unlike Murrayfield. This is a piece of turf you have to hit. But there's Seymour. As you say, those interceptions, and now Finn Russell. This might be his last piece of action. Yes, I can see Dunky Weir on the pitch, so Finn Russell, if he kicks this, he's taken over from Laidlaw. He'll just exit stage right. Well, the kick went right, and as it went right, Russell, I can see, there he goes, he's played well, Finn Russell. Bit of a smile at his injury troubles this year, but he's one for the future. He's got something, a little something, hasn't he, Russell?
No, he does. And this is a well-executed kick. As you say, they're not big dead ball areas here, in-goal areas here. Perfect weight.
Johnny Greig takes it. Gets half of Tonga down his back. Cussiter, Weir, in behind. Dunbar just beats the tackle. He's evasive. Visser now. Cussiter. Wider ball. Fraser Brown. Bigger man. And a bit of deliberate obstruction there, this time from Mallow. Pick and go. Gray. Ryan Grant is on the field. Grant's done well. Woof. He did well until he was hammered. Cussiter, Weir with a little kick, chasing for Seymour. Seymour, look at the gas. He just has to overrun it. Hogg could be in here. Back inside to Seymour. It's knocked on. Let's see what they can do with this. That is a really good piece of play. The game's just suddenly taken light.
It has, and Scotland are really injecting the pace, and they're trying things, and they're coming off now, and that happens.
Okay, Andy, up to you now to pick the Viagogo man of the match.
Well, there's been a lot of good performances, Scotland, especially in the second half. But for me, the player that started it off with the try in the first half, he's been in the heart of everything, is Blair Cowan. So my Viagogo man of the match is number 7, Blair Cowan.
He has had a very good autumn series, hasn't he? Because he's carried well, he defends well, he's got a rugby brain, he's brave.
Yeah, he's got it all. He's moved to number 8 now, which means he's got that versatility. There he is, 11 carries, 30 metres made, tackles made 8, but it's more than that. It's the influence he's done in the close quarter stuff, his defence and turnovers.
And as Flower of Scotland starts ringing around the ground, I guess revenge is the biggest motivator, isn't it? And you and I were there 2 years ago when it was a terrible evening.
It was, but I think there's a different mentality around the Scotland squad. I think a lot of that's come from the Glasgow mentality of the next job, and I think Vern Cotter has proved that he's a very astute coach, and I think Scotland now going with real momentum into the Six Nations, having got 2 wins out of 3 and a good performance against New Zealand as well.
Well, there's no messing around. In behind. Taylor in with the tackle, ball goes loose. Visser plays football. Picked up there, I think we're playing on here with Paya. And lots of new faces. Better tackling. The Scots have meted out with a foot into touch there by nearly Latu, who's starting to lose a bit of his number. Looks as though Dunbar has taken a bit of a bang. If he went into that tackle hard, he is.
You can see there's been real intensity more in the second half. Scotland have really upped it. I think, and Mike Blair said, when he was asked what would Vern Cotter be saying, he would go ferocious at half-time. I think it's worked because there's been a real intensity in the second half. They tried stuff in the first half that didn't work, and then they've really upped their game. The forwards have just turned the screw minute by minute almost after that first 5 minutes, and then people like Alex Dunbar have benefited from it. We've seen the exuberance then of the back 3 all getting their hands on the ball, and Finn Russell just controlling things and doing what he's been doing in the first 2 games of not having to do all the playmaking. He's just then pulling the strings and getting people in the right areas. The playmaking's coming through. Oh, he's doing it again. Yeah. We thought we would see it again. He's made a lot of good decisions in the last 3 weeks.
That was a bad one.
Yeah.
Over 50.
Cussiter. Weir. Cowan again. He's brave. He just takes it into big tackles. Cussiter. Links inside to Visser. Visser posts it deep. Still that one-way passing around the side. Will they just chuck this out? Strokosh has it. Scottish forwards try to get it back. It's turned over though, although Custer still has. Custer, the time is actually up. Cowan to Dunbar. And it'll be the final piece of action of this game, and it's been a good afternoon for Scotland as they win 37 points to 12. What do you reckon, Andy Nicholl? Yeah, a good day.
It's been eventually a good day. The first half, a lot of mistakes, a lot of poor discipline, unforced errors. Second half, they've really upped their performance levels. The intensity was there, the execution was there, and now Scotland go at the end of the autumn test. I think a very good autumn test, having beaten Argentina, having beaten Tonga, played very well.